The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Justin Fields has been ruled out for Sunday's game against the Miami Dolphins, and it sure sounds like Aaron Glenn opened the door for Brady Cook to start a game before the season is over. We'll talk about that and much more. Dom C will join us. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Guys, we always say this, and it's always going to be pretty. I got one game ball.
Let's keep it going next week.
A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now. Here we go, Jet fans. Show number 2 on the day. If you missed the first show, we had Fireman Ed on in his weekly spot, so check that out. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. And, of course, we are presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is a guy that I'm looking forward to spending some time with at the Senior Bowl this year down in Mobile. He is our guy, Dom C., who's now with JetX, JetsXFactor.com. Dom, you are the man. It's almost Dom C season. How are we feeling as the New York Jets have won 3 of 5, and we're talking about maybe Brady Cook getting a chance to start before
Brady Cook. How about that, Jake? I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on. Listen, we're this weekend. People don't realize it's going to be a very important weekend for the Jets in a couple different avenues and areas. One, have we finally put the Justin Fields experiment to bed for once and for all? Like, is he done? Has he taken his last snap as a New York Jet? We'll find out. 2, the Jets and the Dolphins play, which has a lot. Every game right now is important for the Jets. Whichever side of the tank or anti-tank you fall on, or in general, whatever side you guys out in the chat fall on, like, it's an important game. Important for both teams. And then you have college football, championship games. Indiana's playing Ohio State. You can see probably, I'd probably say a dozen, if not more, guys in that game alone are going to get drafted. So, I mean, you get to see some high level football play, not only in that game, but in some of the other championship games a lot. But, the Indiana one is going to carry a little bit more depth and weight because of, the Jets and the Jet fans being, so involved with Fernando Mendoza and the quarterbacks.
Yeah, we certainly will get to that. And for those who are unfamiliar with Dom, he is, to me, one of the preeminent draft people that we could bring on this show. So if you have questions about the draft, Dom is already watching film on all these guys. He's putting together his draft guide, which is a must read for me as I try and familiarize myself on all the prospects. But I mean, Dom, you kind of nailed it, right? The debate about winning versus tanking. Where do you stand in all that? Because, the prospects. So when people say, oh, we got to tank to get the quarterback, well, you have a real familiar understanding on, are any of these guys actually worth losing games for so you can secure one of them?
Listen, here's where I stand on it, is that I don't know if I understand the idea that, the higher that you pick, the better, the better chance, the more games you lose, the better chance you have to pick higher. And it's not only in round 1, but it's in every round, ultimately, so on and so forth. So, if I had to, kind of put my eggs in one basket, tank or don't tank, like, I'm absolutely fine with, Aaron Glenn and this team, which, let's call it what it is. The 53 that we have right now, are, talent deficient when, head to head versus every single opponent that we're facing throughout the way. And that probably even includes New Orleans. So, I'm okay with us putting up a good fight and falling a little short at the end, falling on a little, falling on the low side of the win-loss record. So I would like to see some more losses, but it doesn't really matter. Like I said, like I wasn't too bothered that we won. I wasn't one of the guys who were pulling my hair out. I can't believe we won. We beat Atlanta. No, I was at that game. I was freezing my ass off, soaking wet. My kid's an Atlanta Falcons fan. One of my boys is a huge Atlanta Falcons fan. So, I was consoling him. And, it didn't really faze me one way or the other. I don't the draft is such the draft is such a crapshoot. Doesn't matter if you're not guaranteed anything with number one. You're not guaranteed anything if you pick 32nd. It's just a matter of I just hope that the process is right. Let's get the process right and how we're getting to these guys, and then seeing if we have the right guys that can develop them. Because you can pick number one, and if you don't have the right guys, it's not going to develop a quarterback. What good is number one pick anyway?
Yeah. And again, with all the picks the Jets have, I know they have the opportunity to trade up if they want to. When they made those deals, looking back on it, are you someone who believes that if they love one of these quarterbacks, that deal was made with it to, with the intention of going up and getting the QB if need be?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's like I said, the process is what's going to be most important to me. And I'm sure they're already having talks about, hey, what happens if this and that and so on and so forth, or is this the guy, is it worth spending this capital, this, that, and the other thing? I just I can't wrap my head around yet, Jake, on them just kind of abandoning the quarterback position in total, right? And just saying, no, we're just to me, we'll just wait for 2027 because it's going to be better. That mindset just doesn't resonate with me. It just doesn't jive. It's not going to be better because you still have a whole nother season to play before that, and listen, this Aaron Glenn and his staff and his regime's gonna not only want to, but they're going to need to win some games, right? You think Woody's going to give them another pass and be like, who cares? 3-14, 2 years in a row. It doesn't matter. 2027 is going to be your year because now you'll get your quarterback. No, it doesn't work like that.
Yep.
So listen, I am all for using what you need to. If the process brings you that this guy is our guy, I'm all for using whatever capital you need to this year to go get it. If it means trading both of your ones to move up, all right, so be it. If it means trading both your ones and something, later down the road, the only thing I wouldn't want to do, Jake, is I don't want to touch those 3 ones from next year. The talent, and I'm not talking just at the quarterback, but the overall talent of the class next year has the means to be so special. It could possibly be the best draft class that we've seen since the Penny Sewell, Jamar Chase year, when I think they had 28 of those guys, were, quote unquote hits in the first round.
Who wasn't a hit?
I know I know exactly who wasn't a hit. Both quarterbacks who we've dabbled with right now. So yeah, that's going to be a good draft. I wouldn't want to touch that draft class, but I digress. I know we'll talk about that a little bit more. So
yep, we certainly will. We'll have plenty of time for that. So before we get to some more draft talk, let me say this for those tuning in: Jets rocking the rivalry jerseys on Sunday. So we will do a giveaway at the end of today's show. Our last show of the week, so your last chance to enter the raffle today to win a rivalry jersey. Gift the membership or send in a $5 super chat or higher. $5 get you 1 entry, $10 get you 2, so on and so forth. Dom, what do you think of the end zone on Sunday? You go into this game one because you're a season ticket holder. Wow, good for you. Okay,
I am not going to this game. I am no longer a season ticket holder. I got rid of them last year, as a matter of fact. So, but I still go to a bunch of games. I still have the means to get the tickets and so on and so forth. But I am not going. Last week was enough. It was bitter cold. And it just so happens that for the next couple home games, or this one in particular, just got stuff going on, so it was never in the cards. I don't know how I feel about the uniforms. I'm hit or miss with them. They kind of remind me of like a sewer cover to an extent. And
it was the plan, though.
If it's Gotham, that's
they wanted the potholes. That was part of the design of the jersey. They wanted because Fanatics sent me one, so I saw it up close. Legitimately, they wanted the pothole type of look.
Oh, you have one. Look at that.
Yeah.
Which one do you have?
Well, they were nice enough to send me one. Again, I'm not trying to knock Fanatics, but they sent me a sauce one. And the unfortunate thing is I requested Garrett when they sent it to me in September. And, They sent me Sauce, and I was like, well, I'm not going to complain about that. I mean, Sauce is obviously going to be on the team. They just signed him to a long-term extension. So there goes that. But I might still wear it Sunday, because if I'm not going to wear it Sunday, when am I ever going to wear it?
Sure. Are you going to the game?
I will not be going to the game, I don't believe.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I'd wear the jersey.
Inspired by the manhole covers of New York City.
Unbelievable.
Yep. I will say the end zones I do like, though. I think the skyline is a nice touch, so I'm all for that. All right. Here's what I want to do now. We're going to talk about Brady Cook, because the Jets injury report came out today. Justin Fields is officially ruled out for the game. He suffered a knee injury. Aaron Glenn described it as knee soreness. We're going to play you a little Aaron Glenn, because this means now that Brady Cook is the number 2 quarterback. And listen to what Glenn said. To me, he's pretty much opening the door here for Brady Cook to go in and play should the Jets want to make a change, or if Tyrod Taylor suffers an injury. This was Aaron Glenn earlier announcing the injury and the follow-up about Cook.
Justin has some knee soreness in practice on Wednesday. We limited him on Thursday, and today he'll be out. And there's a chance he's going to be out for the game. All right, and we'll see how he progresses as the going into next week, for him to be ready for that. So Brady Cook will be our backup quarterback, and we'll be ready to go.
What have you seen from Cook throughout this whole offseason?
Yeah, it's his improvement, and he's a very fiery guy. And the one thing that we do quite a bit in practice is we have a number of competition periods. And you see exactly how he goes about his business when his time comes up to really be in that situation to compete. He looks forward to it. He always asks when those opportunities are going to come for him to get a chance to do it. And we make sure we give him those reps, So he's a very competitive guy. He's going to be a quarterback in this league. I do know that. I can't tell you when, right? But he'll be a quarterback in this league.
Couple thoughts on this, Dom. Here's my theory on how everything is playing out here. They are going out of their way to designate Fields with some sort of injury, so they could now open the door to get Brady Cook as the number 2 quarterback and give Fields an exit plan, because I believe we've seen the last of Justin Fields taking any snaps for the New York Jets in a game. And the reason for that is you say he's injured. Now he's out. Brady Cook could be the number 2. You stick with Tyrod for as long as you could stick with him. And if Tyrod unfortunately suffers an injury, now Brady Cook will get a chance to play. Or if you get down to the last couple of games and you want to get a look at Brady Cook, you could easily make that move and say, well, he's been the backup the last couple of weeks with Fields banged up. We're now going to go to Brady Cook. But I think it's clear, at least to me, that we likely have seen the last of Justin Fields. And we are now in position here where the door has been open for Brady Cook to actually play. And even in that answer that Glenn gave about Fields, he said, quote, we'll see how he's progressing going into next week for him to be ready for that. That's implying that there's some uncertainty already about his status for the following week. Again, I don't think we see Fields again. I think this is a way for the Jets to not try and trash Fields on the way out, have this quiet benching without saying he's been benched or designated to 3rd string. But I do think the door has now officially been open for Brady Cook to start at least one game before the season is over.
Yeah, and I mean, if I agree with everything that you said, Jake, and I think if you have, if you're able to put 2 and 2 together, you can clearly decipher what they're trying to do. Now, I read somewhere, and I don't know if it was somebody's tweet or if it was an article in a publication or something like that, but didn't Justin Fields come out, and I could be wrong, did he come out this year and say that he's not interested in being a sub-package guy? Maybe they asked him to do that. Maybe they asked him to say, hey, listen, we'd love to utilize you, let's keep you active, utilize you on 3rd and shorts or goal line situations like Pittsburgh did last year. And he said no. And all of a sudden he's got a knee soreness that's going to keep him out of the game. Come on, man.
All of a sudden he's hurt, huh?
All of a sudden. I hope that knee heals. And listen, they took a shot. It didn't work. You took a shot on Aaron Rodgers. Didn't work. I applaud him, I guess, for continuing to take shots and trying something different and not just banging your head, repeating the same thing and expecting a different result. But the Justin Fields era, I mean, listen, I'm going to remember it. If that's the last we've seen Justin Fields, Jake, I'm going to remember Justin Fields era probably a tick below Zach Wilson, the Zach Wilson experience. That's where I'm going to take it. And I mean that wholeheartedly.
It's been bad, man. There's no other way around it. And what you were referencing with Fields, he was essentially asked, last week when he spoke, hey, are you open to being used as like a wildcat quarterback? We saw that in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And he said there's been discussions of it, but he's hesitant to do it because of the idea of coming in cold, dealing with some sort of, soft tissue injury that could pop up, which it's like, dude, you're worried about an injury that hasn't happened yet. You're a team captain. They paid you $30 million guaranteed.
Yeah. Doesn't everyone kind of come in cold for that matter? I mean, if the defense is sitting for a while, offense has got to come in and be explosive for a play. I mean, that's just weak.
He's done. He's done.
Yeah.
He also said last week when in that same press conference, when they asked him about being benched, he said he didn't anticipate being benched. And I'm just thinking to myself, well, that's why you're on the bench, because your anticipation as a quarterback is terrible. I mean, he didn't perform well enough. That's the bottom line. No one's saying Tyrod Taylor is the end all be all. But if you watch the Jets in the 2 starts that Tyrod has gone out there and played, their offense is so much better with him, and he's not
my God,
quarterback.
So
they could run a conventional drop back offense, and with Fields, you can't do it.
Yeah. Listen, I'm going to remember because I was there also, like the touchdown to Garrett in week 1 against Pittsburgh. That's going to be a highlight, and there's going to be very few and far between from there, man. Maybe a couple of those big runs or scrambles that he had, but yeah, you hit the nail on the head. He just, and I think it kind of snowballed, and I think it kind of, like maybe we were not. I'll speak for myself. Maybe I wasn't wanting to drink the Kool-Aid or believe what was happening in camp when it looked like everything was late and is, no, it's going to get better. He's going to be fine. So on and so forth. I never thought that the passing offense could get worse than what we saw with Zach Wilson at the helm. And by golly, we took another huge step the wrong way with Justin Fields. He just couldn't do it.
No.
Maybe the pressure got onto him or whatnot. Maybe, maybe he didn't feel comfortable. Maybe the weapons weren't right. All that stuff, it just didn't work. And listen, kudos to Aaron Glenn for finally making the decision. I think that the only mistake about the whole thing is how vigilant Aaron Glenn was early on that, it was his job. He's not being benched, this, that, the other thing. If he didn't come out and say that, maybe this could have happened a little earlier. Maybe we could have been staring at, I don't know, 5-7 instead of 3-9. Who knows?
We shall see what happens Sunday with Tyrod. But again, Brady Cook's going to be the backup, and I expect Brady Cook to remain the backup now going forward. They'll just say Fields is not ready and go from there. It's an easy cover now to just not play him, make him inactive, and instead of like disgracing him on the way out, oh, here's the team captain that's inactive, you just say, oh, he's injured. So it's an easy thing for the Jets there. Brady Cook actually spoke today. Here's a little of Brady Cook with the media being asked about the opportunity to be the backup and maybe appear in some games before the season's over.
How do you feel about this opportunity to move up to the number 2 spot this week?
It's exciting. It's exciting. Obviously from a personal level, you're always looking for that next opportunity, and this is mine to back up Tyrod this week. It's a pleasure. I'm excited.
How do you carry yourself out there?
I think competitive is the word. And to play quarterback, you have to be competitive. That's got to be in your blood. That's got to be what you're about. And that's definitely me. Practice, meetings, film, walkthrough, preseason. I think you could see it a little bit. You have to be competitive. And I'd say that's a good word to describe me.
What has it been like for you attacking those scout team reps? Kind of?
I've almost treated it as an extension of the offseason. It's just an opportunity for me to develop, for me to see how an NFL defense moves, reacts. Obviously, I'm going against the best of the best. So it's extremely fun, honestly, because I just get to work on my craft and build rapport with the other practice squad guys, other guys working with me. So it's been great and a good opportunity. I think this rookie year I've seen big jumps, which is probably normal. You get here, it feels like a lot. Feels like a lot's thrown at you. And as the weeks go by, as you kind of watch how Tyrod, watch how Justin, watch how they go about it, how they learn the offense, how they handle everything, it definitely it's becoming a lot smoother, to say the least.
Obviously, there were some concerns about your game. What did you need to work on to take it to the next level?
Yeah, I think when you look back to my college career, there was a drop-off from 2023 to 2024 in the passing game, and that's what I worked on. I worked on, first of all, my mechanics, my footwork, my arm strength, and just becoming more accurate, and I think I've done that. I've continued to develop that, and it's been a focus.
The college with Armand on obviously. I'm curious what's been like seeing him have the season he's had right away.
It's honestly no surprise. When he stepped foot on Mizzou's campus, it was apparent what kind of player he was and what kind of guy he is. I mean, he's been great for this locker room. The guys love him, fits right into the O-line room, and he's going to be around for a long time.
It was a draft analyst that was saying when the Jets got him, they said Brady Cook never had a look over there.
Nope,
Never had
that's
to
right.
worry about over there.
That's right. It's a wall over to his side, and he always knows what his job is. He does it at a high level, and he's an even better guy.
So that's Brady Cook. I don't know who he looks like, Dom C, but he reminds me of someone.
Be a Buffalo Jets fan. I was going to say the same exact thing. Go back, take the hair out of the equation. It's Buffalo Jets fan, man.
Really? Hold on. I got to look at this again.
Yeah.
I kind of see it, actually. Yeah,
It's
you take
Buffalo
the hair
Jets
out.
fan. Take the hair out and put dark hair on it, and it's him. It's Kevin.
That's actually really funny. That is funny. Dom, you studied all these quarterbacks. I know you didn't exactly have like this great breakdown on Brady Cook. Why would you? He was a UDFA. But when you went back and you looked at your notes on him as a prospect, what did you think? And then obviously, what did you see in the preseason that allowed him to win the job over Adrian Martinez as QB3?
My notes are limited on him from last year. Small hands. Less than 9-inch hands. I took him completely out of the Northeast equation, to be honest with you. But he threw for 3,300 yards, added another 500 yards on the ground for 30 total touchdowns last year. He could do that. The question wasn't going to be, the question was always going to be athletically, was he already capped? Because he doesn't have he doesn't have a big build. He doesn't have a howitzer on the side of his arm. Could he get better athletically and really take that next step? Right now he's he's a mobile quarterback. I don't know if he's a true dual threat kind of guy. You know what I mean? I don't know if I want him, always in the RPO, which he did a lot in college. And in the pros, it's obviously not going to be the case. He can hurt you with his legs, but I don't know if it's going to really, he's got that skill set that's really going to affect the game. At this point, what you're looking at for Brady Quinn, I almost called him, whatever his name is. I expect him to, kind of manage the offense if he does see the field. And I agree with you, Jake. I wouldn't be surprised if Jacksonville, is the game that, he ends up, with his start. But Brady Cook is not going to do anything. You're auditioning to see if you have a backup quarterback on your roster next year. I don't think anyone has any real hopes that he's going to pan out to be the guy or the starter. But don't take it for granted. I mean, backup quarterbacks are important, right? You get a guy in there. You want to develop a few quarterbacks so that if number one goes down, that the season just doesn't go awry with number 2 and number 3 in it. Look at what happened in Cincinnati, right? Joe Burrow went down and everything kind of, went to crap. So, listen, a little bit of an underwhelming arm talent, mobile enough to hurt you off platform. And, you just got to make sure that, he's doing what he needs to get to understand what the defense is throwing at him, so that it doesn't put the ball in harm's way.
It's interesting because you look at the schedule for the Jets, and obviously this changes if there's an injury to Tyrod, and that could happen at any point given his history. Even in some of these games, Dom, where he's made plays, he's taken a big hit, and he's wincing, and he goes to the turf, and you're like, uh-oh, is he done? But we'll see what happens Sunday. Let's say he makes it through Sunday. The Jaguars game, I think they'll still stick with Tyrod. I think the earliest we could see Cook start is they'll say, hey, we want to audition him with 3 games to go. Because at that point,
give him a 3-game sample size or something like that. Yeah.
And you would have had enough of a sample size with Tyrod where you could have evaluated Mechie, you could have evaluated Mitchell. You know what I mean? If they didn't go to Tyrod in the first place, we'd be having questions about all these guys because, again, Fields can't complete a pass, to quote the owner of the team. So at least with Tyrod, we got a chance to see A.D. Mitchell. We saw Mechie. We've gotten a better evaluation on some of those guys. I could see them giving Cook a 2 or 3 game audition here at the end of the year. And then obviously if Tyrod gets hurt, then you go to Cook right away. But I do not need to see Justin Fields. We've moved past it. And I think the Jets designating him with knee soreness is an easy thing they could point to give him some time now where they don't have to embarrass him and as they demote him to 3rd string.
I agree.
Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. We're going to do some quarterback talk with Dom C. Again, reminder, raffle at the end of the show. Not going to be a super long show here on a Friday, so make sure you enter for your chance to win. Daniel Malcolm with an Asmaniac super chat. He's a channel member for 10 months. He says, Brady Cook, Ring of Honor loading. We can only hope this is the start of something.
Let Brady cook, right? I mean, how many times are you going to hear that? If he does get the name the starting quarterback, you're going to just hear it all over paste it all over every newspaper, back page, so on and so forth. Let Brady cook, baby.
Let Brady cook, man. Is he going to be Bryce Petty or is he going to be Mike White? That's the question.
Yeah. I didn't even think he's got the arm strength of Mike White, but somebody in the chat is made mention to the name, and I think it's fair. Like a lot of the same things that you thought about Brady Cook, you probably thought about Brock Purdy, but the difference is Brock Purdy's with Kyle Shanahan and that offensive scheme and system. We don't know if our guys can develop a Brady Cook like that.
By the way, I think you're onto something, Dom C. Here's Brady Cook as Buffalo Jet fan.
Overlaid with Buffalo Jet. Tell you, they look similar.
Someone tweet Dom right now this image. He needs to see this. Please. The Buffalo Jet fan must see this image. Joe Mike checks in with a super chat. He says, Dom, if the Jets stay in the 6 to 10 range with safety being such a big need, is Caleb Downs safety a good fit, and Sonny Styles, linebacker, with the Indy pick at 23. So the Ohio State Jets doubling up on Buckeye players in round 1, Dom. Your thoughts on this?
Yeah. So let's answer that in pieces, and I'll start backwards. I absolutely love Sonny Styles. And I think, personally, I think that Sonny Styles probably has more of a chance to end up a New York Jet than Caleb Downs. And I'm not saying he's better than Caleb Downs. Caleb Downs is phenomenal. But, if you watch it, and again, I have no idea Muji's mindset, but you look at Glenn's defense and, he wants some of those bigger bodied downhill thumpers that can shed blockers and fit the run a little bit more physical, bigger bodies, instead of having the Jamie and Sherwoods that go, sideline to sideline, skedaddle like that back and forth. So I think that whether it's Sonny Styles or whether it's later in the draft, I think you could see some big physical, bigger bodied linebackers enter the Jets. Like, the kid from, oh my God, why can't I think of his name? The kid from Leo Chanel, going to be a free agent, like that kind of body, a guy that can, come in here and fit the run really good, still very good against the pass, but more of a bigger body. I think it's just what the doctor orders. And, they did it with, they drafted the linebacker from Iowa in the first round, Jack Campbell, 17 overall a couple years ago. So they noted that in Detroit. Again, I know this isn't Detroit, but I could see that being a move. So Sonny Styles is a guy that I would love. I don't know if he reaches us in that second pick. Caleb Downs is going to be, consensus top 10 player on the board. It just really comes down to where do you value the safety position, especially a guy who's probably going to be more predominantly a guy that probably plays a little bit closer to the box. So, how high are you going to take a box safety? Nick Emanwari or Kyle Hamilton, was taken 14th overall. I'd say right now, probably, if I had gun to my head, I'm taking Kyle Hamilton over Caleb Downs. Nick Emanwari is probably the prototypical young box safety, new age box safety. Gun to my head, that's a little closer, but I'd probably still take Nick Emanwari over Caleb Downs. So,
it's a good comp right there. Good grasp on how you see him compared to some guys that are already really good. PBM checks in. Love the field. Hopefully it looks good Sunday. Watch out for the Steelers. Giants could trade the second pick for Tomlin, and Pitt gets their QB.
Oof.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be a crazy deal. Again, I do think that the Jets are positioned, if they want to go up for one of these quarterbacks, they still have the most ammo. The biggest thing, I think, Dom, for the Jets, Tennessee getting that number 1 pick, because they've already done one deal with the Titans. So there's some familiarity there between Muji and their GM Borgonzi.
And I also just think Tennessee and the Jets, like, there's no reason why they couldn't do a deal. I think the Jets and the Giants, while they don't play in the same conference, I do think there's something to, do the Giants want to help the Jets potentially get their franchise quarterback? Do the Jets want to unload all their draft picks to the Giants? And if it doesn't work out, it's LOL Jets. You help the Giants get all the good players. I just think the easiest deal for the Jets to do to get up to the top of the draft would be if the Titans are picking number 1 overall. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that's probably the easiest path, but it depends where we're at, right? Now, I think all the betting lines and consensus and everything says we're going to land somewhere around 5. So for sake of argument, let's say we're at 5, and all these teams minus Cleveland are ahead of us. Las Vegas, New Orleans, the Giants, and Tennessee. Or maybe Cleveland's in there and the Giants win a couple games. Jackson Dart back, maybe they can win a couple. Who knows? I think the easiest plan of attack is probably to try to work something out with Tennessee. Obviously it's going to cost the most money. It's going to cost the most to get up to number 1. And it really depends on how far Tennessee wants to move back. What are their plans? They clearly don't have a quarterback in mind. So is it a wide receiver? Because if it's a wide receiver, they might easily be willing to move down to 5. Is it, an edge? Do they value Ruben Bain or Arvell Reese, much higher than the other one? Because if that's the case, they might not want to move past some of these guys. I truly believe, and I know it's way early, so you don't tweet me on this or anything like that, but I absolutely think right now, if I was a betting man, that New Orleans is not going to take a quarterback. So you're really fighting the Raiders and Cleveland of the teams that are there, and any team that wants to trade up with Tennessee, the Giants, or New Orleans.
That's why I need the Colts to miss the playoffs, because if the Jets had that pick from Indy and it's in the top 18, you could outlast the Browns offering their 2-1s because they have the Jaguars pick. So if Jacksonville won the division, it's guaranteed to be past 18. Like, I think a combination of, let's say, 7 and 18 is better than 5 and 26 or whatever. You know what I mean? So I think Indy losing is really the key to the Jets having the inside edge on not having to touch those 27 first rounders to get a deal done.
Yeah. That is what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that they can, if the process brings them to their guy and they choose to use capital to go up and get their guy, I hope that they don't touch the 27 firsts. That's my hope.
Chris B is the first to gift today. Thank you, Chris. You're in the raffle for 1. I'm going to skip ahead to this one from Taylor. Spent $20. He's in the raffle for 5. He goes, Dom, would you be okay moving a 27 first if we ended up with Mendoza and Styles this year?
I just said I hope they don't want any 27 first. But listen, if we ended up with Mendoza and Styles organically, then absolutely not. I'm not touching those 27 firsts, right? If we ended up with those guys organically, I think for me, and this is me personally, I think that'd be a home run. Because I happen to be smitten and love Fernando Mendoza. He is my quarterback 1, and Sonny Styles, depending on where you have Arvell Reese is going to be everyone's either 1, 2, or 3 linebacker, off-ball linebacker. And I think he's a guy that he's still young, Sonny Styles, and he's still getting better. Again, he's a converted safety, just like Jamie Sherwood was, just like Fred Warner was, but he's, 6, almost 6'4", 240 some odd pounds, doing it. So, he's still learning the position. So I think that sky's the limit for a guy like Sonny Styles.
This one's from Raya Adams. The draft was today, Mendoza or Simpson. Well, you just said
it's Mendoza.
Give us your top 3 quarterbacks right now. I know it's subject to change. Of course, we'll see Mendoza against Ohio State Saturday night, which I'm very excited to see what that looks like. But you have Mendoza. You have Mendoza 1.
I have Mendoza. I have Mendoza 1. I know I'm going to be a little bit different here. I'm ready to get chewed up by the chat here. I have Darian Mensah from Duke number 2.
Really? Okay.
By a slight margin over Dante Moore, who's my number 3.
And do you think Dante Moore declares? By the way, because I do.
I don't. Now the whole, the offense coordinator leaving Oregon definitely is going to play a part.
That's why I think he will now, because I think there was a thought, we'll say another year of development with Will Stein. Well, he's gone, and everyone's mocking, more to the top 10, top 5. I don't think he's going to turn down 50 million guaranteed. I don't care what Phil Knight and Nike offers him an NIL for one more year at Oregon.
Yeah. Listen, I have some pretty good insight that told me a couple weeks ago, when I had the conversation, that it was no doubt that he's coming back. But then all this stuff happened. So you just never know. So I think there's more of a possibility of him coming out now than there was, say, 3 weeks ago. And listen, Darian Mentz is my number 2. I fully expect him to I don't fully, but I expect him to go back to school. He had signed a 2-year NIL deal when he transferred from Tulane to Duke. Now that's not binding. He can get out of it, but just turned 21. I think that he probably has he could probably use another year, but man, the way that he throws the ball, Darian Mensah, and just like the fluid, the way it just comes out of his hand and his release is something that is just like to die for. He reminds me a lot of, for Jets purposes, from his cerebral way of playing the game, his accuracy reminds me a lot of Chad Pennington. Now, he's not as statuesque as Chad Pennington. He can move a little bit more. He's a little bit bigger. But the arm strength is so. It's average. It's not great, but just the way he plays the position, the way he's smart enough to manipulate defenses with his eyes, the way that he can elude pressure in the pocket, and the way he moves around the pocket, and just this effortless release, always throwing guys open, perfect catchable balls. Darian Mensah, I think, is going to have a real long career in the NFL.
Yeah, that is a great breakdown there, because you're the first person we've had on that's even mentioned him. I've heard, Jaden Mayava from USC is like another name to potentially watch here. So where do you have Ty Simpson in your initial rankings?
Ty Simpson's number 4. And I'll pull it up here. I'm not going to pull it up on the screen, but let me just do this to see how far I have.
Hit the like button if you're tuned in. Dom C, Draft Guru with us here. We talked about Brady Cook potentially starting some games. Aaron Glenn opening that door earlier today, but now we're talking what Dom C does best.
So I have Mendoza, Mensah, and Moore all have first round grades for me. Simpson has a late first, early second, really a second round grade, but it's so close. In my grading, in my point system. And then following him, I have Brendan Sorsby, who's the dual threat, young kid from Cincinnati. He's another guy who I think is probably going to go back to school. He's a guy that I think, he's got all the tools that are, he's got the tools and the traits that are going to make NFL front offices really fall in love. 6'3", 230. He can run. He's physical when he runs. He's got a little bit of that, like Josh Allen, I don't give a shit, I'm going to run through you kind of mentality in him. He's got a good arm. For him, it's just like he's got one or two of those plays every day where you just pull the, when he makes a mistake, he makes mistakes. Like I don't know what you're doing kind of thing. So again, young kid, I think he's going to be one that goes into the portal, because Cincinnati just got a 5-star recruit yesterday, just at the signing day. They got a really high rated quarterback that's coming in. So my guess is Sorsby's going to hit the portal, and I wouldn't be surprised if you saw him bump it up from Cincinnati to one of these lower SEC schools, or a Texas Tech of the world, so on and so forth. So
some super chats here that we missed. We're going to get to them and then continue to talk about the QB situation. Big Fella says that one pass, 52 yards by Tyrod, is more yards than Fields threw in 3 games this season. We had competent quarterback play, would be in the hunt for the wild card. They certainly wouldn't be 3-9. I think we all can agree.
Yeah.
Thanks, Big Fella. Barney Miller writes, in first half of the year, AG was coaching Salah's team. Last 5 weeks, it seems like he's coaching his team. Brick by brick, AG and Muji are taking over. I know, Dom, you and I, very critical of Glenn at the beginning. It was let's be honest, it was a nightmare start for him.
Yeah, and listen, I'm a Glenn fan, but I'm also a realist, and I don't know if I still don't know if I'm like, kind of warm and fuzzy over him being the head coach. I'll say this.
Do you think he's improved?
I think there's been aspects of his game, of his coaching abilities that's improved. I think there's still some stuff that I question, but who am I from the sideline? Like, and maybe there's a reason for this, and I'll use this one as an example. Last game before the 56-yarder to win it. Why are you running plays? You know what I mean? Why you're lining up to run plays with 12 seconds left? What happens if there's if there's a mishap, a miscue, or something like that? Like, just kick the freaking ball. You know what I mean? Just kick the freaking ball. But yeah, listen, I think he's kind of taken his foot out of his mouth a little bit when he's on the podium and in front of the media, and that whole like antagonistic thing is kind of gone. So you hope that that's gotten better. The team plays for him, and some of the behind the scenes stuff is nice. I don't know if he's the guy yet. I'll still hold my reservations to be determined. I'll take it like that.
We at least went from is one and done on the table if they win 2 games or less to like, all right, he's stabilized things. He's shown some progress. Like, we know he's going to be here, and you and I are Jet fans, so we're all rooting for him to turn it around. But
yes,
it was bad at the beginning. I mean, anyone trying to tell you otherwise is like, not being objective.
No, you're absolutely right. They weren't, that is the green goggle stuff. If you were warm after, game 4, game 5 and all AG rah, then I don't know. You know what I mean?
You should see my mentions on Twitter about that. Mickey Rosas says, I feel like it's not being talked enough about how bad Jamie and Sherwood is. He also dogs it and lacks effort and is somehow a captain. I want him gone. I don't know if he dogs it. I won't necessarily say that. He has not had a good year. And obviously that contract, if they could do it over, they would not have given him that deal.
So a couple things to this. I agree that he has had a down year. There's no denying that. It's a new system. And maybe it's a system that just doesn't fit his skill set right, perfectly. Like I said, Glenn wants his linebackers playing downhill more. You know what I mean? And Sherwood is much more, like sideline to sideline, scrape and tackle. He's going to beat you to the outside, kind of do that stuff. I thought that they would utilize him more as a blitzer. When he does blitz, he rarely gets home. I think he's actually pretty bad at it. So there's a lot in learning a new scheme. There's a lot in wearing the green dot and being the captain of the defense and making sure you're getting everyone aligned when you're not exactly kind of comfortable with the system yet. And I think it says a lot too. Like, we see now how much of a role CJ Mosley played. Even the decrepit CJ Mosley with, turf toe and bad ankles and bad neck and all that. When he's on the field, he played a huge part. I think he picked up a lot. He cleaned up a lot of the messes that was left by the guys that might have been out of position or not knowing what to do, so on and so forth. So I think that plays a lot into it as well.
Comments, questions, super chats. We got some good ones here for Dom. 25 checks in, 2 raffle tickets with this. We're giving away a Jets rivalry jersey at the end of the show, folks. He says, thoughts on Denzel Boston. I think he fits the mold of what we need at the receiver position.
Yeah. Fits the mold in the sense of, he's a big body. He's he's kind of that, pure X guy. Like, Garrett has played the boundary. Garrett has played the X for us, a bunch, but he's not a true X receiver. So Denzel Boston fits that mold. Listen, I'm not the hugest fan. He's, right now, and again, this is all subject to change because there's a lot of stuff going on. Like, right now, he's my wide receiver 10. And I have a 3rd round grade on him. He just doesn't separate. You know what I mean? Like, that's fine. He just doesn't separate. You're looking at, a lot of the same things that you love the size at 6'4.5", 215 pounds. You love the abilities that he has in those contested catch situations, right? Over 55% contested catch rate. An ADOT, average depth of target over 12 yards. So he's got, he's getting the ball, a yard, almost 2 yards, per route run, which is a little bit under the mean, but it's not terrible. You love all that stuff. You love the idea of having that big possession boundary receiver to go along with, complement Garrett Wilson. But he just doesn't separate. And I've seen this play out. You see it happening right now in Boston with Keon Coleman, or Buffalo with Keon Coleman. A lot of the same Same stuff that people fell in love with Keon Coleman. You're seeing the things that you watch on tape and the lack of nuance in route running and separation. You watch all that really come into play in the NFL. And, he's been objectively bad in Buffalo. And I'm just afraid that Denzel Boston's going to follow that mold. So for me, he's not the guy. And if you like him, that's cool. I don't, I will never judge a person if they have a different opinion on a player than me. He's not my cup of tea. When you're talking wide receivers, I like the, I like the guys. I like the mold, like the prototype of Garrett Wilson. The guy
Carnell Tate. That's my guy.
Oh yeah, Carnell Tate's. He's real well. Listen, anyone from Ohio State, comes into the NFL knowing how to be a above average, not even above average, like a plus route runner. And then you tie in, some of the nuance and the hands that Carnell Tate has and the ability to stretch defenses as well. Like, he's good, but I like the shifty guys that create separation. Jake, I don't know if you remember, I was one of the highest. I know Will Parkinson, me and him used to always talk about it, but like, we were two of the highest guys on A.D. Mitchell coming out of Texas that year. Like, the way that he can just create separation at the line of scrimmage, like, it's such an advantage. It's such an advantage to be able to do that. And to me, I think Jordan Tyson's got a lot of that. I know he battles the injury stuff, and that's the kid from Arizona State.
That's who Brugler mocked to the Jets at 7 in his first one.
Yeah, and he graded out as my wide receiver 1. Just by pure film and everything. Like, still, the testing is going to be important for him. He's battled some soft tissue injuries throughout his career, so that's also going to benefit him. But Mekhi Lemon out of USC, Jake, is really good. He might not be the biggest guy at like 5'10 and a half, 5'11. He might not be the fastest in regards to straight line speed. But man, you talk about a guy that can get open and get the ball. He's a perfect blend. And it works out well, this comp, because they're all from USC, Mekhi Lemon. And then you take the best parts of Steve Smith and the best parts of Detroit Lion, Amon-Ra St. Brown, not collegiate Amon-Ra St. Brown. And that's what you got in Mekhi Lemon.
I'd take that as well.
In a heartbeat, man.
I would take that as well. Let's see. We got this from Charles Eugene M. Gorman. Hello, Jake and Dom C.
How are you? How are you, buddy?
Brett in the raffle for 1. Brett, shout out to you. Your signed Namath helmet is on the way. Taz Tactics sent not 1 but 2 $10 super chats. So there's 4 total raffle tickets for you, Taz. Thanks for supporting the channel. Big on a higher draft linebacker. Who are your top 3? Dom, who are your top 3 linebackers so far?
Oh, it depends if you consider Arvell Reese a linebacker or an edge rusher or kind of like unicorn. Because
what would he be on the Jets? Let's do it from that perspective.
I think on the Jets he would take the role of off-ball linebacker, kind of like what Quincy Williams does, but being asked to rush the passer even more. He's truly a hybrid. So I'll take him out of the equation for now and just say that he's some sort of unicorn designated pass rusher, and Sonny Styles would be my first linebacker. Anthony Hill from Texas is probably my second. Again, those are guys that I think will fit the bill of what the Jets are looking for. Both clear 6'3" and a half, both clear 240 pounds. They can play, they can blitz, both are effective as blitzers. And they play that physical downhill style of football that I think Aaron Glenn's going to want his defense. And my third linebacker right now, taking Arvell Reese out of the equation, is Jake Goldlight from Cincinnati. Again, another versatile guy. He was a Mike there, 6'4", 230 pounds. I just love the way he plays. He does everything at like a B+. For him, it's going to be the testing that's going to be important. I think he can, remember the name, but I think he's a guy that can sneak his way up into the end of round 1. Just because you like I said, you watch the way that he owns all aspects of the game, whether it's fitting the run, whether it's flipping his hips and dropping in coverage. He's got ball skills. He can play all over the middle of the field, whether it's Mike or Will. He can stack and shed. Blockers to a real good ability. He's a 8% missed tackle rate, which is pretty good for a linebacker. I just think he's got the goods, man. At 21 years old, he's going to be a guy. If he runs fast, he's going to be a guy that goes a lot earlier than we expect.
Can I give you a linebacker I like, and I only like him because of one physical attribute he brings to the table?
Shoot.
I am a big fan of Utah linebacker
Lander
Barton. Look at his neck. I need a guy with a strong neck for Aaron Glenn's defense.
Yeah, and so I don't know if you plan that or not, but Lander is actually a Green Bean Jets fan favorite too. Like Green Bean loves Lander Barton.
Look at that
he's a day 3 guy for me. Probably not going to be the fleetest of foot when it's all said and done, but he's a shit kicker. I love that. And I love that in your linebackers. You want a guy that pisses vinegar and licks the blood right from his bloody knuckles after he kicks the crap out of somebody. So
yeah, I don't know if he can play, Dom. I haven't seen one play of him, but I just know he's got the thickest neck in college football, and that's good enough for me.
Yeah, he's a day 3 guy for me. He's going to be in the league, that's for sure. And he's got the short area quickness. He's very twitchy of an athlete, just not fast.
He's Beast Breaker. Beast Breaker had some athletic prowess, is how I can.
Yeah, I like that. Okay.
Let's see here. A couple minutes left with Dom, then we're gonna let him run. Weed the People is in the raffle for one. Thank you, Weed.
All right, Weed.
Big fella checks in. Thoughts on Chris? Is it Brazel? The Vols fans love him.
The Vols fans love him, and there's a lot to love. 6'5", 200 pounds. Again, another guy. He was at Tulane. He was there actually with Mensa before he transferred out to Tennessee.
Receiver.
Tall, long, huge catch radius, long arms, big hands, all that stuff. I love the way he attacks the cornerbacks, right? He makes them be on the defensive, and he can go up and get the ball. Definitely going to need to put on some weight, because right now I think he's probably nothing more but a stretch X. Think a taller, faster version of Arian Smith. However, with hands, Chris Brazel's got like a less than a 5% drop rate throughout his college. His dad was in the league. My whole thing is I know you scout the player and not the helmet, but man, these Tennessee receivers under Heupel when they come out have not really panned out in the league. You watched Jalen Hyatt, you watch the kid in Cleveland. They run a very unique offense, and I don't know how translatable it is to the NFL game. But nice player nonetheless. Like I said, I have him right above Denzel. For me, I have him right above Denzel Boston.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Before we say goodbye to Dom C, there's a very special request that has just come in, and I know Dom is up for it. Ladies and gentlemen, we need Dom to do a live breakdown and assign a grade to Chuck Wagon's dinner.
Chuck Wagon's always cooking, which it takes. Chuck Wagon's even cooking at the game. Chuck Wagon hates McDonald's, but he's headed home to cook. It's time once again for Chuck Wagon.
All right, Chuck, you wrote in, would Dom C want to grade my dinner? And I just assumed Dom would do it. So hopefully, Dom, that is the case, and you'll grade Chuck Wagon's dinner.
Any man who wears an apron, how can I turn him down? I'll grade away.
Dom C, it's nice to meet you. Never met you in person, but it's nice to meet you. And I like your grades and all that, especially on the quarterbacks.
Okay.
So for tonight's dinner, it's apple maple bacon stuffed salmon.
Apple?
And it has crab meat. Yeah, apple, maple, bacon, stuffed salmon. It's crab meat.
Stuffed with crab meat and apples and bacon. Listen, I love the maple bacon combo, and I think a maple bacon glaze on salmon would be delightful.
And also as a side, twice baked potatoes.
You won me over. I'm a big fan of twice baked potatoes. That's for sure. Yeah, you had me with the fish until you talked about the crab meat being stuffed in there, Chuck Wagon.
Are you allergic to
No,
shellfish?
no, I'm just not. I'm not a huge crab stuffing kind of guy. I'm not I would have preferred the maple bacon, even with the little bit of the apple, the maple bacon glaze on that salmon and the twice baked potato would have been a home run for me, brother. So I'll give you.
I wanted to do something different. I didn't want to do just plain salmon. I wanted something special.
Well, you did special, just probably not for my palate.
It's all good.
All right.
All
so
good.
what am I grading this out of? What, 10?
Yes.
Well, it looked delicious, and I'm sure that the flavors all go together very well. Like I said, if it wasn't for the crab, it's probably a little bit higher. But I'm gonna say I drive 15 minutes to a restaurant to get that meal. That's probably around 7.5 out of 10.
That's very good. Coming from you, that's a big honor, sir.
I appreciate that.
Chuck Wagon, great job.
Thanks.
Well, Dom, I don't know if you expected to have to grade another man's dinner, but you did a tremendous job at that.
Yeah, well, I guess he looked at me and said, wow, this guy's fat. He's going to know food. So he's not wrong. The Chuck Wagon, so.
Dom, you're the man. I'm excited to share the same Airbnb with you and Dylan Terraman in Mobile in a month.
So we have listen. You're gonna be kind of me and Dylan got a routine now. This will be year 3 together in the Airbnb. He and I. So you have to get used to our doings.
You guys are just gonna be like conversing about all these like day 3 prospects. I'll be like, I have no idea who any of these guys are.
Now, Dylan, yeah, probably. You know what? It's gonna be a fight for the good area for Wi-Fi because all of us are gonna probably be talking and streaming and doing all that stuff. So
I look forward to it, Dom.
Yeah,
You're the man. Thanks for popping on. Everyone read Dom's work over on Jets X Factor. Great story out on some of the non-popular quarterbacks that we've been discussing. Dom's got good breakdowns on some of the non-tanking quarterbacks that you could get some details and some insight on. So check that out over at Jet X. Dom, enjoy the game Sunday, my man.
Thank you, Jake. You too, bud. I'll talk to you soon.
Dom C with us there. Hit the like button. Reminder, we got a raffle for a rivalry jersey at the end of the show. But on Tuesday, you're going to want to enter during the show your chance to win a signed helmet signed by Broadway Joe, a signed football by the late, great Nick Mangold, and a signed helmet by former Jets All-Pro linebacker C.J. Mosley. Couple super chats, then right back to your calls. Plus, it's a Friday, which means, speaking of food, Bites and Breakdowns with Ariel Nash is coming up shortly. Matt L. says, Wade Woodaz, high IQ guy, can also play safety at a Clemson. I'll take your word for it. I haven't done any work on anything that's not the quarterbacks or just knowing who some of the top consensus players are. Like once we start getting past like some of the receivers, Downs, who's at Ohio State, or Reese from Ohio State, or the quarterbacks, like I could tell you about Peter Woods or Francis Malagoa. I could basically give you the top 1 or 2 players at the main positions, but I'm not doing any work on corners because I don't think the Jets are taking a corner, but we'll see. All right, back to your calls in a moment. But right now, it is a Friday, which means it's Bites and Breakdown. Ariel Nash with us. Boom.
Olive oil sports, she's the queen of the line. Football and flavor, she's cooking up hot. You love the Jets, you'll love her too. She's got a touchdown recipe just for you.
All right, Ariel, here we go. Chuck Wagon kind of set the stage with the dinner already. For those who don't know, Ariel, every single week on her channel, Olive Oil Sport, reviews a food item related to the Jets opponent and then provides some insight on how she thinks the Jets will perform in their upcoming game. So with that said, Ariel, how are we doing? Jets have won 3 of 5. What do we got?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm like, actually, because now I can actually be excited about something because I'm always excited no matter what, even with the 0-7. I was trying to come up with some stuff, and now I'm like, I actually have a team. Like, I got receivers catching balls. Like, for the most part, I'm like, this is a good time.
So you're feeling good about the direction the team is headed.
Yes, I'm feeling great about it. I'm feeling the culture come together. Mitchell, Mechie, I'm hyped about it. AZ Thomas, I was like obsessed with him from the beginning, but that move, that tackle on Algier, I'm excited about this team. I'm excited about the energy, just the whole thing. I'm excited.
So, okay, before we get to more on the game,
Yes.
Jets and the Dolphins. Now it's the first time that the Jets are seeing a division opponent for the second time. Remind us what you did for the first go around against Miami.
Okay, so first go around, I went to a very nice restaurant. I live in Arizona, so I went to a very nice Cuban restaurant and I got the plantains with like this black bean puree. I said a couple weeks ago, it's now bites and breakdowns on a budget. So listen, I was gonna do a Cuban sandwich this time. I'm running it back on a budget plantain and bean thing, but it's an at-home situation. So I'll show you what I got.
What do we have here? All right.
So I don't think we have Sprouts like in New York, like where I'm from. We don't have Sprouts, but in Arizona they have Sprouts. So Whole Foods type place. I got these like healthy plantain chips. Would not recommend you get them. Not very good. But I got makeshift like black bean puree. This is fantastic. This is like, like those like microwavable rices or whatever that you squeeze and you put it in for like 2 minutes. This is like the bean form. This was delicious. So I bought extra packs for this. So that's what I got for Miami, running it back just on a little budget this week.
Okay, so we're cheapening out here as the Jets are 3-5.
Yeah, we're cheapening out because there's it's more exciting.
3-9. I mean, yeah.
Oh, there you go. 3-9. There you go. Yeah. So listen, next week will be better for Jacksonville. I have a more creative thing, but I was just hyped. I'm like, we're winning. It was Thanksgiving too. I was like,
the chat's coming after you, Ariel. Dana says, bro, you can't make it up. She gives 0 effort.
Okay, listen. I got expenses coming up. I got a move coming up.
Yeah, Dana, I don't see you paying for her food items.
Give me $20, I'll get a Cuban sandwich. It's gonna be creative next week. I got the whole thing envisioned, still on the budget. Listen, Jets are winning. I don't care. Like, I'm excited.
Look, as long as they keep winning, you be as cheap as possible. But if they lose, then you got to really up it and go all out for the Jaguars game.
Listen, I'm hoping to win out. I'm not in it for the tank at all. I'm like, I don't care. Like, I'm excited about the culture. I'm excited about the wins. I just don't care. I'm excited.
Dana says, bring back the Chuck Wagon. Chuck Wagon, what do you make of this?
That's fine.
Listen, you do you. You got to do what you got to do. No one knows your financial situation other than yourself. You got to do what you got to do.
Well said, Chuck Wagon. Well said.
Exactly. I'm like, guys, I'll be up in a little bit. Just right now, I'm a responsible person. Like, I gotta just chill for a minute.
I respect it. Well, give us a score prediction for Sunday and the follow-up. Do the Jets finally get an interception this season?
Okay, my score prediction last week, I predicted 17-20. I'm predicting the same thing, Jets winning 17-20. Last week, I also said they're definitely going to pick off Kirk Cousins, and that did not happen. So, yeah, I'm going to say this is the week. You got to get I can't believe we still don't have an interception. Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? That's not acceptable. So, yes, I'm going to say we're going to get it this time.
Leon says Ariel's cooking segment next week will be a bag of Sour Patch Kids from Jacksonville.
Listen, maybe
they're coming after you, Ariel. You got to step it up next week. The chat holds everyone accountable.
No, I have the idea in mind. It's going to be good. I'm confident in my situation. Don't worry about it, guys. You'll be excited next week. I have to do what I have to do. I'm a committed person. I'm still going to do my segment, but I'm also responsible. And I couldn't spend the money this week. I had Thanksgiving happen.
I love it. Ariel, all the best to you. Good luck. Ignore the chat. They're just trolling you. And hopefully the Jets win a game on Sunday. And we'll be talking about a team that has won 4 or 5 next week on the show.
Amazing. All right, Jake, I'll see you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ariel Nash.
Let's go, Jets! Let's go, Jets! Let's go, Jets! Let's go, Jets!
Good stuff there from Ariel. We got another membership that I saw that just came in. Chris B, Moneybags B's, figured out how to gift a membership. Shout out to you, Chris. You were in the raffle for another entry here. Andrew C, the dream is in the house. He sends in a $10 super chat. I'm all about the tank until the game start. That feeling goes out the window. Yeah, we could say tank, and then you start watching the game and you're really rooting for them to lose. Like, it's hard to do. You know, that's why if they lose, it's a consolation prize. They get a better pick. If they win, we're going to be mad they beat a division opponent Sunday. Like, nah, I won't. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, earlier today, Beastbreaker announced that he would be going to the bowling alley. Ladies and gentlemen, let's find out if he is, in fact, at the bowling alley.
Yeah, we are. We are at the bowling alley now. Watch out, boys. Here we go.
Looks like Beastbreaker got maybe 7 of the 10 pins or however many pins. Beastbreaker for the spare. Oh. You just missed it, Beast.
Like that much.
Yep.
It's okay, don't worry about it. We got ready to go. Round 2's coming up.
All right.
Let's get ready.
Let's see what we have here, Beast. Beastbreaker rocking the brand new Jets shirt I sent him. I can't even see what he's trying to hit right now. This is your tax dollars hard at work.
The 710 killer. You want to see something? The 710 killer. There's no way in hell I'm gonna get that shot. You gotta be 350 to 1 on the odds to hit that shot.
Who do you think you are? I am.
Yeah, don't count your chickens yet. We're gonna
Hey,
try.
Beast, say to the people in the bowling alley, who do you think you are? I am.
Watch closely.
You got to quote Pete Weber. Quote Pete Weber. Oh, gutter ball. Up, Beast. Hey, we'll check back in with you. All right? Keep getting those reps in. You're doing what it takes. You're not finding that on any other Jet YouTube show, folks. Big fella with a super chat. As Beast would say, Ariel's effort is lacking. She comes in with that again next week. She will be introduced to him. Her punishment is she has to talk to Beast. Now, if Bobby Midnight is out there, I want to read you guys a message I got from Bobby, and I didn't see this until it was too late. So, Bob, I apologize. But this just came to my attention. Hi, Jake, my friend. I'm trying to get over my bronchitis, and I want to know if tomorrow I could talk to Olive Oil if you let me say hi to her. So Bobby Midnight, while dealing with bronchitis, was so desperate to talk to Olive Oil Sport, Ariel Nash. Well, Bob, if you call in next week, we'll make it happen. Comments, questions, super chats, they cut the line. Let's see what we have here. We have Tristan on the line. He's next. Hello, Tristan. We don't have Tristan on the line. He is not next. Barbarossa's on the line. He is next. Hello, Barbarossa.
Hey, what's going on? I'm here, you guys. Good to see you, Jake. Good to see you all as Maniacs. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, Barbarossa. Nothing like a Friday Barbarossa call.
Oh, man, I appreciate it. Nothing like a Friday beer, man. This has been a week. Wrestling team, we got shellacked on Tuesday, but we won yesterday. We had a good week of practice, so take that as you will.
Hey.
But I'm just Jet stuff, man. I'm really happy with the wide receivers overall. I think it seems like we have something, and maybe in free agency, I feel like if we draft a quarterback, I'd prefer if we drafted offensive players with him so they could all get a rhythm and be here for a long time. I'd prefer, with seeing the two wide receivers we have. I'd prefer. Oh, that's good form right there. That's a nice strike. I'm calling it right now.
I'm listening. I'm just making sure that we
Oh,
can
I
see
know. Oh, I
Beast
know.
do his thing.
That's great. That's good stuff, man. I would prefer to see us draft an offensive lineman and a wide receiver if we go quarterback, so they can all develop together. Because it seems like we have some good. We have two other good wide receivers, and that's just. It really made me happy to see just like the guys catch the ball. So that was really good. I'm really excited to see to have Brady Cook be the quarterback number 2. I'd like to see him play. I don't want Tyrod to leave the game, injured or anything like that. But it'd be cool. It'd be cool if we were just kicking their teeth in so bad that we were just like, Tyrod, have a seat. Let's get to Brady Cook. I'd like that. That'd be nice. In terms of our just like Sherwood, man, I don't know. I've not liked him since the beginning. I don't know if there's gonna be. I don't know if he's gonna really be able to do anything the rest of the season to make me want to see him play more. But I'm just kind of frustrated with him. I don't really. It's just like he doesn't seem to be able to cover anybody receiving the ball well. Like every time there's a guy open, I feel like every time there's a guy open, it's Sherwood's guy in the middle of the field, and then he makes the tackle because he's the guy that was supposed to cover him. And the last thing I want to say, Jake, is it's funny that I remember I watched the show on Monday because I've been watching much, but you are owed money by Spencer Green. Somebody owes me a Jets bet too from many years ago. My ex-girlfriend's cousin and I bet that in 2019, Sam Darnold. Whoop! We'll be right back. Shit.
Uh-oh.
Sorry,
Barbarossa?
Sorry, guys. I gotta go, but I just wanted to say,
everything
sucks to
okay?
yeah, it's all good. It's all good. It just sucks to be owed money on a Jets bet, but I just want to say you guys are great. Love you all. Take care.
All right, Barbarossa. Hope everything's okay there. Back to Beast Bowling here. I did not need to see that one. Here we go. I muted Beast because his audio is horrific. I just unmuted it so you can see what we're working with here. Beast for the strike. Oh. All right. We'll keep the live cam on Beast as he continues the bowl. I'll keep getting to more of your calls here. What's better than this? Beast bowling by himself on a Friday. And the Asmaniacs keep him company. Andrew C says, I'd rather have a bag of Beast okie dokies than what Ariel brought to the table. Now, that is too strong. I don't agree with that. That is a repugnant take there, Mr. Dream. Repugnant, I say. All right, more of your calls, ladies and gentlemen. Let me bring on a guy who's an expert on, maybe anything. You just got to honestly just ask him. I'll tell you that. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to say hello to...
He's pointing. Gary Box point at you. Gary Box point at you. Gary Box I'm pointing. I'm pointing. I'm pointing. Gary Box point at you. I point.
Oh, you're on mute, Gary.
Now we're good. All right. What's up, Jake? How's your Friday going?
So far, so good, Gary. What are your thoughts on Beast bowling here? You like his form?
I don't really know anything about bowling. It looks okay. I'm going to give him the same compliment that Ty Cobb gave Babe Ruth. You know where I'm
Oh,
going
that's a
with this?
spare. Hold on.
See?
That's a spare, Beast. Well done.
I'm going to... Good job, Beast.
He ain't done yet. We only just begun.
Can I go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Beast, obviously, all eyes are on you. So, is he up again? What is he
He's
playing
bowling
by
by
himself?
himself. He's never not up.
Oh, I see. I've never gone bowling by myself, but I guess that would make sense then. Yeah. I'm not really a big bowler. Here you go. All right. I'm gonna give him the same compliment that Ty Cobb gave Babe Ruth. You know where I'm going with this?
I don't think I do.
They said tell Ty Cobb to pay Babe Ruth one compliment, and he said he moves pretty well for a fat guy. That's the compliment. He does. Like he's freakishly athletic for a guy that looks like that. He's coordinated. I think he used to play sports at some point in his life. He looks fairly athletic. At some level, like we need to get to the bottom of this, but he can't really answer a question directly, so you can't ever really get an answer. But I think he may have played sports at some level at some point. He looks like he's got some athletic ability, right? I mean, he always looks better doing things than you think that he might. But I got a couple of things. People have been calling in, and like someone super chatted, I'm for the tank until the game starts. But then you're not. Go ahead, Beast.
Oh, I'm done. One strike, 3 spares in the last match. Now that's what I call BANG.
Good job, Beast. Good job. That's well done.
Well, my arm tomorrow is going to feel like one word, a floppacello.
That wasn't one word.
Yeah, well, you try lifting.
Four.
Yeah, you
Flop,
try
I'm
using one of
jello.
these bad boys right here.
A bowling ball?
If you ain't got the green, you ain't a Jet. Just
I
remember
don't.
I'll check back in with you, Beast. Go ahead, Gary.
I don't know anything about bowling. I've only gone bowling probably 20 times in my life. But I think typically when someone goes bowling, they use one of those. It's called a bowling ball. But I'm not an expert. You can check in with Pete Weber.
Who do you think you are?
Yeah,
I am.
I used to have Decker say that when she was like 4 years old. She went around the house saying, I love that. Who do you think you are? I am.
It's the best that one of the coldest lines ever delivered by an athlete is by a bowler. It's amazing.
It's so good. It's so good. Who do you think you are? I am. It's so good. But someone super chatted about the tank, and this is the same thing I have with the Nets, right? If you're not a fan of the tank when the game starts, you're just not a fan of the tank, right? Like we all say, yeah, I want the number 1 pick, but if you're rooting for the team to win, then once the game starts, then you're rooting for the team to win. So let's just say we're not for the tank. We're for winning as many games as we can. If we can go 8 and 9, great. If not, as many as we can win is good. I hate the word tank, because the word tank to me, and maybe I'm using it wrong, is like you're deliberately trying to lose, like what the Philadelphia 76ers did last year, or what the Jaguars did back in 2020 or 2019, whenever they got Lawrence that year. You're deliberately trying to lose.
Yeah, I agree with you. So the definition's kind of been hijacked. When you say tank, like no one is saying the Jets are not trying to win. I think the tanking fans, that's just the way we describe them. It's like people not rooting for the Jets to win so they can get a better pick. But like, you're right. Philadelphia like organized direct ways to lose, right?
Right.
They had a bad team on purpose. The players that were playing, though, were trying to win. They were trying to perform. They just were not good enough to win games, right? The Jets, they were just bad on their own at the beginning of the year. Now they're playing better. They've been trying to win the whole time. But the fans of the tank, they're just rooting for the Jets to lose. Like,
if you're a fan like Allen, right? Like if you're rooting, that means you want Falk to miss the field goal last week against Atlanta. Like no Jet fan was rooting for that. Nobody. We all wanted him to hit it. I still can't. That thing never got more than like 8 feet off the ground. I still can't believe that thing went in. And when he kicked it, like, oh, that's like 10 yards short. It's just like line drive in. Like, all right, that'll work.
Hey, we might have a new emoji developing here, Gary. I need your take on this. The great Addie Martinez just sent me this. Is this the new Beast Breaker emoji?
I think so. I think so.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Pretty good. Okay, so I have 2 other slightly related issues. This Spencer Green thing. What happened? Spencer Green. I missed this. I know that
he's been gone since the Ravens game. We had a bet. It was $100 that he would pay me if the Ravens beat the Jets. But if the Jets won, I owed him $700. We haven't heard from him. The one email I got was that he had finals week and said he was dealing with some health stuff. So I hope he's okay, but we haven't seen him in the chat since. So hopefully at some point he returns and I'm paid my $100, baby.
Speaking of bets, I think you owe me pizza, Jake.
Do I?
I think you do, Jake.
What was our bet? I forget.
It was Brock Bowers or Ola who's going to be a better player.
Was that just the bet? Who's the better player?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I owe you pizza, but I still don't regret the pick though. I really like Olu Fashiono.
I like Olu too. If you had to do, it would be different because then we wouldn't have taken Taylor. Everything would be different.
I think the combination of Olu and Mason Taylor, I think that works for me. Because what would the alternative be? It'd be Bowers.
Yeah, I'm not mad with what they have. I still
but left tackle right now because it couldn't be Membo. Membo's only a right tackle.
I don't know who was available at tackle. Who the Jets would have taken in the second round. I can't do a 1-for-1 comparison because I don't know what. Obviously, the Jets have Bowers. They would have taken Taylor. Taylor's working out pretty well. I'm not upset with what the Jets have, but Brock Bowers is a better
Did
player.
somebody say Brock Bowers?
Then the other thing I want to talk about was,
did somebody say Brock Bowers?
It's been a while since we played that. We had to get some good use out of it.
I can't believe he saved that one. I guess we're gonna use that a lot.
Big fella says it's still too early on the Olu Bowers comparisons. I mean, look, I think Bowers has proven to be like a top 2, top 3 tight end in the league. I think Olu's still developing. He's 22 years old. There is a path for Olu Fashiono to be a top 5 left tackle.
Olu is a good left tackle. I mean, a good left tackle. There's no question about it, for sure. Brock Bowers is on that Hall of Fame trajectory that I told you guys he was going to be on. Olu was fine. He's fine. I would have taken Bowers. I still would have taken Bowers. I'm not upset about Olu. Olu's an excellent player. I was never upset about Olu. I was upset about what you left on the board. When I was going on about Bowers, I was comparing him to Kobe Bryant and whatever, and Michael Jordan, and that's how good of a tight end he is. He's going to be one of the best tight ends you'd ever seen. That was my point about Bowers, and he's on that trajectory, right?
I think Mason Taylor's going to be pretty good too. We just got to figure out.
I'm not upset about Mason Taylor. I'm not upset about Mason Taylor at all. I think Mason Taylor is great. I'm happy we have Mason Taylor. He's an excellent player. But I wanted to Olive Oil. What is her name?
Ariel.
Ariel. Can she do a carnivore edition? Can she do a carnivore edition to whoever they? Who do the Jets play next week after Miami? Who do they play? Who's the week
Jacksonville.
after? Jacksonville. Can she do a carnivore edition of Olive Oil Sports? You know how a lot of times people do a vegetarian edition or a vegan edition. Here's the vegan menu.
I don't know what we're gonna get next week. I don't know. Is she gonna eat gator because it's Jacksonville? I don't know.
Do they eat gator in Jacksonville?
Yeah, it's Florida. The Florida Gator. The swamp is right.
Well, that's
over there.
Gainesville. Yeah, Jacksonville.
That's near Jackson. When you go to University of Florida, you fly into Jacksonville. Do you not?
It's about an hour away, though, isn't it? How far? I mean, someone from Florida in the chat inform us. They're not far.
Leon says Gary thinking about meat and Ariel.
No, that was whoever who wants to talk to her. Who called in to talk to her?
Well, Bobby Midnight says he has bronchitis, but he was hoping that he'd talk to her.
Yeah, why? Why does he want to talk to her?
She's a big fan of her work.
Yeah, that's why he wants to talk to her. That's why he wants to talk to her.
Are you saying Bobby Midnight is a horn dog?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. There's lots of people that come on. He seems to only want to talk to the females. Have you noticed that?
I think I have actually. I think you might be onto something.
I know this is not Ariel or anyone in particular. I'm just saying once you remove the idea that you want to have sex with them, most women don't really have anything interesting to say. And that's not a shot at Ariel or anyone in particular. It's just
here we go,
observation.
Here we go.
Once you take sex out of it, they don't really have that much that's interesting to say. Unfortunately, not all of them. There's plenty of exceptions, but
Bobby loves to talk to Jeff Parles.
That's true. That's
I don't
true.
think he's
Shout out.
Jeff.
That's fair. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I like to talk to Jeff Parles too. What thing is Parles on? We didn't get him this week.
Normally Wednesdays, but he had something come up
Wednesdays.
this week.
Okay, yeah, we didn't get Parles this week, right? I was just gonna say that.
Ant Banks says misogyny. Gary is back.
Is that misogyny? Misogyny means hatred for women. Like we're gonna use words. Let's use them properly.
Well, I
Misogyny
mean,
means
people
you
can
hate
interpret the
women.
comment that if you remove sex, all women aren't interesting.
I said specifically said not all. I said most. I said plenty of exceptions, and it wasn't a shot at Ariel or anyone in particular. It's just an obvious observation. It's just a clear observation. You take sex away, most women aren't that interesting. They really aren't, and especially if they're like an 8 or above. Not only are they uninteresting, they're useless because they've never had to be interesting or useful because everything they've gotten in their life is based solely on one thing: their sex appeal. That's it. And that's a reality. And it's not a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's just reality.
I'm watching Homeland, and the Taliban and Gary agree on many issues.
I don't know what Homeland is. I don't know what that is. Is that a show? Is it a document? I don't know. Do you know what it is? I'm guessing it's about the Taliban.
No, I know the show. Yeah. And
it's a show? Like
a show.
Like
show. I think it was on
like
Showtime.
It's nonfiction or it's fiction?
It's fiction, but I think it's like loosely based on like things that happened in the military. It was a TV series.
We can say what we want about the Muslims, but they know how to dress their women. Their women know how to dress. Shout out to them on that.
Oh God, are you serious?
Oh, I'm quite serious. Yeah, I think it goes a little far, but I think they got the
a little
right, a little far, but they get the principle right. It's for my eyes. It's for your husband.
I am amazed no one has sent you to the hole yet. Like this is actually stunning.
Because I speak the truth. Shout out to the Muslims for how they dress their women. Shout out. It's a little far. The all black. Like you could give them lighter colors so it's not as hot. Wearing black in the desert seems like a punishment. So give them white linen or something like that. A little. But the concept, their principles are correct. I think so. Shout out to them for that. Even people with bad ideas still get some things right. That's my point. That's my point.
Yo Holmes writes in narcissist, misogynist who doesn't even know the definition of the term.
See, he has no idea. He doesn't know what either of the. He has no idea what a misogynist is. Doesn't understand the word, and has no idea what narcissistic personality disorder is. This is why I don't respond to low IQ people. It's not worth your time. They know nothing, and they don't have any desire to learn. They're just not worth your time. Just I say this genuinely. Don't deal with low IQ people. It's not worth your time. They're just going to frustrate you with their stupidity, and they're never going to learn. You can't.
Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans of all ages, welcome to the event of the year, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the Asmaniac Rumble.
Bobby, you frozen? I think he's frozen. Yeah, that would have been fun. Oh well. I can. Oh, is he back?
Yeah. Guess where I'm at? At a Mexican. I'm at a Mexican joint right now, getting my carne asada burrito. $11.50. Yeah. Nice try. Are you trying to insult Ariel? I mean, she's a cute girl, but you're being very
Not at all. I said it's not directed at Ariel or anyone in particular. Not at all.
In the words of the great Mo Howard, just watch your P's and Q's.
I'll do what I want, and you'll do nothing about it. I'll say what I want. I'll do what I want, and you'll do absolutely nothing about it. You'll do literally nothing.
Hey, pendejo. Just watch your P's and Q's. She's a cute girl, and you're being an asshole right now. Because just watch, okay?
I said nothing about it.
Just watch.
I said nothing about it.
Just watch it.
Okay.
You don't want to know this. You don't want to know me. Hey, look, son.
You picked a fight with me.
I just threw an awesome game tonight, and you're gonna come over here and bust my balls. I had to watch yourself, son.
You came on to talk to me.
Sonny. Watch yourself,
You came on
Sonny.
to talk to me, right?
You want to be a smartass? Look, it's 26 degrees out there. I'm wearing an Adidas hat. I'm wearing my Jets gear like a real man. And I'm also carrying a Curie High School bag that I got from Curie. That's right, son.
I don't know what that means.
That is a Condor
Yeah.
bag.
Do
I paid for most of my stuff.
you think all of your simping will work and that Ariel will let you hit or no? No, right? Probably not. So all of your simping, all of your white knighting will get you nowhere. It's all a fool's errand. It'll never get you what you want. Hey, Bobby. I don't think his internet's working. I don't think his internet is working. I don't think his internet and nothing I said there was directed at Ariel or any girl in particular, rather just a generalization. That's all. Is Bobby's internet working?
Clearly, it's not working.
I don't. Do you think Beast cares if she's mad? I'm not the one trying to sleep with her. It's Beast. Yeah,
I don't think
care if
Beast
she's
was
mad.
trying to sleep with her either. I think Beast was coming to the defense against your misogynistic comments.
What did I say that was misogynistic?
What you said in the first place, that you basically said all women.
I did.
are not
I specifically said not all women. I said women in general, right? If I said like NBA players are tall, you would say, what about IT? What about
Yeah, but there's way more
whatever.
nuance to like something like that. It's not the same thing.
Yeah. Okay.
You also have said women shouldn't vote, so that's a misogynistic comment.
Women should no. Well, they shouldn't be allowed to vote. Now that they are allowed to vote, like I said, I mean, now you just have to outvote the feminists, right? I mean, now we've opened Pandora's box, and we have a whole mess. I get it. Like it's a whole mess now. But what's weird is that like for most of this country's history, that was the policy. So like you're gonna have to deal. So what built this country was what I'm suggesting. What destroyed it is what you're suggesting. You're gonna have to deal with that.
Hi, Gary. I have to call on my phone.
Hey, Bobby, how are you?
I like her. Ariel's my friend. She likes me. She said she likes me. Okay. So I just wanted to say hello to her. Is there any matter? I'm not going to jump a bones like you think. I'm friends with her. Is that all right with you, Gary?
You could be friends with whoever you want. I don't know Ariel from.
Well, you really
from
not that.
Olive
I
Oil
want to
from-
jump a bones. That's not what I called
Clearly you
in
do.
for, to jump a bones.
Clearly you do.
I
mean,
do
I
not.
don't understand
She's
why we
younger
just
than
don't
me.
say what the truth is. Like, why don't we just speak the truth? When I was a single guy,
She likes me. We
if
were
I
on
was
together.
when I was a single guy,
Don't
if
worry
I
about
wanted to-
what we were talking. We're friends. We're friends. I'm getting over bronchitis. I
you
wanted
don't
to.
you
I
don't think
asked
she's
Jake
attractive.
if I could talk to her, and I have. I'm still getting over bronchitis, but I'm not going to jump her bones because she's much younger than me, and we're friends. Okay.
What does that matter? She's younger than you. Like, what do you have a dating?
That's
what,
all,
a
Gary.
girl
Get it through
older
your
than
fat
you?
head. Everything you say is not good. Okay.
I've never heard a guy
No,
say that before.
fuck that.
I don't wanna
I'm
say
done
that
with
she's
you,
younger
Gary.
than me.
Every time you put people down, I don't want to talk to people that have low IQs. I don't care about my fucking IQ, okay?
Who did I? I didn't.
All
I
right,
never mentioned
understand
you.
that?
I never mentioned you. I never mentioned you. I said in general,
I
what's a
know,
good
but
idea is to do this.
I'm going on the track that you think I have. Okay, but don't bring that up. I
had
want to
nothing
jump
do
a
with
bones.
you.
I don't. I'm friends with her.
You're being overly sensitive. It had nothing to do with you.
Well,
The comment I made had nothing to do with you.
When
You're being
when
overly
you
reactive.
asked Jake why did Bobby want to call in, I just wanted to say hi to her, not that I wanted to jump her bones. Okay, that's
Oh, so you don't find her
ridiculous.
attractive?
Okay, I'm done.
You don't find her
Stop.
attractive?
She's very attractive, but I could be her father, knucklehead, dumbass. I'm old enough to be a father.
So what?
So I don't want to fucking jump her bones. Okay.
I think if you took
Sort that out. That's why I fucking got on the.
I certainly don't think that's true.
No, fuck that. Get out of town. Get out of town. Okay? Bye.
All right, have a good one, Bobby.
Pissed off at you.
Okay. For what exactly did I say to Bobby?
Yeah, I might do
Yeah.
it.
Again, you have no idea why you're upset.
I'm trying to get off my phone. I do because you said I wanted to jump a bone, you asshole.
I didn't
Dumbass.
say that. I never said that. I absolutely.
Yes, you did.
I never said that.
Yes, you did. So
Okay,
shut
you
up.
can play it back. I absolutely never
Yes,
said
you
that.
did.
I don't even use the term "jump her bones." I've never used that.
Well, you said you know. I'll
Yeah, you have no
rewind.
idea.
Just get off my ass.
Yeah, caught another lie. It's becoming a trend.
Oh, shut up. Thank God I'm on it. Come on, get off the studio. Fuck.
He's trying to slam the phone, but he can't. This is hysterical.
Feeling good. Get off my fucking ass.
You just turn your phone off altogether, and it'll just like power off your phone. It'll turn off. That's probably your best bet at this point. I didn't imply anything. You inferred what I said. Saying something is a matter of fact.
Oh no, you did.
Right? Saying something is a matter of fact. Saying someone implied it is some stuff you made up in your own head. Right? So it's a matter of fact. Did I say it or not? The answer is no. What you think I implied is something you made up in your head.
Oh God damn it.
I didn't call him a creep. I didn't call anyone a creep. These are like this is just like people need to do something productive with your day. I came in here to talk about not rooting for a tank, and this is where we go every time. Did he power off his phone?
Let's go Jets! Let's go Jets! Let's go Jets! Let's go Jets!
You never know what you're going to get on the show. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And Gary, you could word it however you want to word it. You absolutely implied that Bobby wanted to sleep with her, and that's why he was annoyed. You could play your semantics. Oh, I never explicitly said that. Oh, all right. We'll play along with you. Amazing. Kevin says, this segment is such a car wreck, but I can't turn away. I'm telling you, the numbers actually went up during that segment, which is telling you something. Andrew C says, if this was 30 years ago, Bobby could have slammed the phone and would have won. Andrew C, another raffle ticket for you with that. Chris B, gifting a membership. Hey now, Chris B figuring out how to gift. He's gifted 3 today. Andrew C says, next year we all need to go to Chicago for the Jets-Bears game to see Beast. That's the plan if we actually get a date that aligns, right? We're not doing Chicago in December next year. Hopefully the Jets play the Bears in September. That'd be perfect. Nick Shine wrote in, yes, Gary, the perfect way to summarize the Taliban is to say they sometimes go a little overboard. What a ridiculous call by Gary. Mace B writes in, Salah back is the hottest item for head coach. Which team would you recommend him for his second chance? He needs to go to a team with a quarterback in place if he's going to get a second opportunity. And it can't be the Giants, even with Dart. He needs to get away from the New York media market. I don't know. He's a hot name. I mean, I guess he'll get some interviews. He also is considered a minority candidate, so you might as well interview him because you got to fulfill the Rooney Rule requirements anyway, and he's a legit candidate because he's a really good defensive coordinator, and he does have head coaching experience. So I think he'll continue to get interviews. I don't know if he's going to get a job this hiring cycle, though. Right now, there's only 2 jobs that are open. The Giants and Tennessee. I wouldn't hire Robert Saleh if I was the Titans. I wouldn't. They need someone that could maximize Cam Ward. Saleh needs to go somewhere where the quarterback is already established. The biggest mistake Rex Ryan made was that he took the Bills job right away. If he waited, he could have got a better job with a quarterback in place, but he wanted to get back in coaching right away and stick it to the Jets for firing him. He took a job in the division. You know, if Rex had gotten the Falcons job that year, went to Dan Quinn, I think everything would have been totally different for him. Matt L. Are we watching Beast or Ralph Cramden? A little Honeymooners reference. Jet Up says, is this a Jets channel or Gossip 101?
Fuck you, Dave Berger.
Whoa! It could be anything. It could be anything, Jet Up. You don't know what's coming on the show. Sometimes it's Jets. Sometimes
that guy fucked me twice.
Sometimes it's this.
I hug him every day. I hug him every day.
Sometimes it could be this. That's what's up.
Hey, what's up?
All right, more of your calls right now. Iowa Paul is next. Hello, Paul.
What's up, Jake? How we doing?
Paul, how we doing, man?
I'm good, man. Just listening to that riveting conversation that was going on.
Which one? I mean, there's been tons of riveting incoherentness today.
You're right. I think the culmination of Gary and Beast, I mean, that took it over the top.
Well, I'm glad that you enjoyed.
Yeah, man. I just wanted to say Brady Cook, I think he's got some wheels.
So you like Brady Cook?
You know, I think when it comes to a backup quarterback, which honestly we've been lacking for a long time, if he can just be that, then I love him. He's my guy.
Well, that's why you want to play him, right? Like you want to see if he can maybe be your long-term backup. I don't think he's a starter going forward, but do we need to invest in a backup down the road, or do we have someone we're developing that could come in and be like Mike White would have been perfect for that, right? If he had stayed at Jet, like, do we have someone that is cost controlled and could be a viable backup QB? I don't know if we even get the answer. Brady Cook plays 1 or 2 games here, but I would like to at least see him rather than go back to field. So there's an injury to Tyrod.
Yeah, for sure. I think we'll know a lot about this regime's opinion on Brady when it comes to the draft. If he doesn't get an opportunity to play this year, but the Jets, maybe we move back in the draft a little bit, like a few slots from 7 to 10, or we draft up for, let's say, a linebacker, another wideout, whatever the case may be. I think that may tell us that Glenn really likes Brady. And honestly, I've been watching some of his tape like this morning. The dude's a baller. I'm not gonna lie.
Look, you don't get to the NFL unless you're Tim Boyle without like having a lot of success in college. He played with Membu in college, so I remember when we watched a lot of like Armand Membu film. Like Brady Cook was a quarterback, so you're seeing a lot of him in that regard. Look, I mean he's a UDFA, so the expectation should be low, but he's going to get a chance, I think, at some point, Paul. And when he does, I hope he plays well because that'd be a cool story. But I wouldn't bank on him being like the long-term backup at this point. Like nobody knows. I mean, he hasn't played a game yet.
Yeah, for sure. I wanted to say something just in general to Gary. Interesting saying that some women don't have a lot of interesting things to say, but then his first question had to do with the carnivore diet. Like I feel like we're kind of over the carnivore diet. That's just me. Plantain chips, delicious. I love plantain chips. I'm from Iowa. I went to Iowa State. Shout out.
Sorry
Ian
about
Longman.
losing your coach, by the way. I don't know how you feel about that there.
Oh, dude, I wanted to bring that up too. Yeah, Matt Campbell, everyone who doesn't know, coach of Iowa State, brought our football program from the depths all the way to ranked top 20 pretty consistently the past several years. He's likely taking the Penn State job. So that sucks. But hats off to him. He earned it for sure. Yeah, got a lot of good Iowa State players on our squad. And Alan Lazard's been struggling for a while. So
hey, you could claim Brees Hall.
We can claim Brees Hall. Very
Will
happy
McDonald?
we did. Say again.
You got Brees and you got Will McDonald when Lazard's not here next year.
Yeah, Will McDonald. That guy in a pickup basketball game in college, he dunked on me once.
That's awesome.
That's what's up. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a tough game this weekend. I really hope we can beat Tua. It's kind of hilarious that we've never beaten Tua. It's wild.
If you believe in due, Paul, the Jets are due. And a couple things about this game. It's like something's got to give here, right? So the Jets have never beaten Tua. We know this. Well, Tua also has never won a game when the temperature is below 45 degrees at kickoff. Something's got to give. Something has got to give. Can the Jets finally beat Tua? And by the way, he leads the league in picks, tied with Geno. So can the Jets defense actually get an interception? Now, Tua's thrown all 14 of his interceptions in zone coverage. If I'm the Jets, I'm deploying zone the entire game. Tua has 7 touchdowns, zero picks versus man coverage, but 14 picks again against zone. The Jets defense has been using more zone of late, but they still have a 54% man coverage rate, which is the 3rd highest in the league. But something's going to give Sunday because the Dolphins have lost 7 straight games, including the playoffs, in sub 45 degree temperatures. And Tua has never won a game in sub 45 degree temperatures. So here's a chance. Someone's streak is coming to a close.
More of your calls right here on our show, but we got to wrap this baby up pretty soon. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're on hold, you're guaranteed to get on. It's rapid fire time and then a raffle.
I got my eye on you. Checkmate me, full screen bitch. Fireball, whiskey time, David motherfucking T.
Hi, Jake.
Hey, David.
Hey, Barbarossa, man. Love drinking beer on a Friday night. And Ariel, we got to cut her a break. I think she's cool. I love what she does as far as when the Jets play, whatever team and the food comes up. I mean, this week she was slacking a little bit. But anyway, they play Jacksonville, and my niece and my nephew live up there, so I hope she comes up a little bit better next week.
David, you sound like you're nice and buzzed right now.
I am. I
love it.
I did my fire. Yep, I'm relaxed. I was supposed to work Friday night, but I switched with the guys, so I don't go until tomorrow night, so I could call you. And the Beast. You know what? Class act. I mean, showed him at the bowling alley, and he was dressed in black, makes you look thinner, and he wasn't wearing, one of those shirts with his belly hanging out. And I'm impressed. Yeah,
He's a handsome son of a gun.
he is, and I'm a Beast fan, and he's trying to do as we all are, trying to do the best in life, and the whole bit. But anyway, if you got time, if I can get to the Jets, Dom C. Brady Cook, he's auditioning for maybe a backup quarterback, long term. And Mendoza, I think the Jets need to do, whatever they have to do without giving out, the 27 picks. And maybe take a quarterback in the later rounds and sign free agency. Sign a quarterback. Bring as many quarterbacks as you can, Jake.
I want a quarterback every year till we get our guy.
Yep, I agree. You got to keep on swinging.
Keep swinging till we get the QB. Ladies and gentlemen, David T. Get hammered tonight, my man.
Thank you, sir.
I got my Iron UG. I hope you like my Jets take. They call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
David, thank you. All right. Home stretch of the show here. I'm told the Chuck Wagon has actual football points to make. Hello, Chuck.
Hey, just wanted to say, I'm not saying Fields' injury is a fake, but it's way too convenient, and it wouldn't surprise me if after this week he gets put on IR.
I do think they're covering for him because they're going to demote him to third string, and this is their way around that.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll put him on IR, though, because if there's an injury to Tyrod, Fields would have to be the backup to Cook.
I figured that they would put him on IR, and then they would just
he's out for
find
games.
someone.
Yeah,
I know that's the point. They would put him on IR, ending his season, and they would, if they need to, they would find someone that's a free agent.
Yeah, at this point, though, it's hard to get someone up to speed this late in the year. So I think they just rather Fields, who knows the playbook, be the backup.
Yeah, but like you said, and I agree with it. I think he's pretty much done unless there's like injuries to both the guys.
Ho, 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 big cho, cho, cho.
I agree, Chuck Wagon. More of your calls right now. Paul is next. Hello, Paul.
Hey, Ben, Jake.
Paul, what's up, dude?
Tried getting on yesterday, but I had to take my kid to the doctors. Everybody's sick in the house. You know how that goes that time of year.
Yep, it certainly is.
Yeah, I just wanted a good tee off from the other two because I wanted to talk about the quarterback scenario. maybe Justin Fields really was hurt for a while. We'll never know. I mean, one thing I guess you could say about it is if he was that hurt and they kept it a secret that long, I guess it's good in a way that we haven't been leaking out information like we used to.
I mean, he's
But,
got knee soreness. I don't think he's that hurt. I think, how did he get hurt? He hasn't played in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, but maybe it was prior. He was banged up. But whatever the case is, we have to move on from him. We all agree on that. You think we'll get any trade value, like not for him necessarily, as like if we tried to trade another team for a little bit better of a backup and throw him into the deal, or you think they wouldn't even want to deal with him at all? And it just be because my concern is next year, right? We all know, like, in order to keep the team engaged, we don't need to see what just happened, right? And I feel a lot of our players lost the engagement because we weren't competitive and didn't have a quarterback for so long. And I think it took a beating on a lot of our players. And we're seeing that they're playing for Glenn right now. And we don't want to lose that momentum, right? So next year, okay, say we do pick a quarterback, right? It's going to be a rookie. And we're going to have – I just worry about him developing in time. I don't want to throw him right out there right away, but I don't want to see us not competitive either. So I just feel like – and if they wait till 2027, I feel like you do. That's way too long to wait. I think we should get a quarterback every year, like you just said. But I guess my point to the whole thing is, what the hell are we going to do? Because we really need somebody that could start the season off next year and at least be competent while we're developing somebody, and maybe he comes in second half of the year if we feel he blossomed that fast. And then my second question is, do you think it's worth starting Mitchell, not this week because it's a tough matchup with the Dolphins, but in fantasy football, would you start him possibly in week 16 or 17 in the playoffs the way he's been balling out? That's my two questions for you, Jake.
Paul, I got to see who the quarterback is for the Jets by then, and if Mitchell keeps this up. Like, if you have other options, I'd say maybe you play them. I actually have to start A.D. Mitchell on my team this week because I have so many injuries. But he was great for me last week. I need to win this week to make the playoffs in my league, I'm pretty sure. But so we'll see. As far as next year, yes, I would like to have 2 veterans and a rookie and be in position to not have to play the rookie quarterback right away. Now, if the guy's ready to go, that's different, right? Like Jackson Dart was ready to go. They wanted him not to play at all this year. He was playing by game 4. And it was the right move. He should have been playing sooner than that. You can see there was a power struggle between Shane and Dable on when to start Dart. Shane didn't want to play Dart, and Dable did. Was it the Dable? Dart would have started week 1. So we will see. I would start A.D. Mitchell this week, though, Paul. Why not? I think they're going to throw to him a lot. He's going to get a lot of targets. Garrett Wilson's not playing again for at least another week. So we will see. But I want 2 veterans. Like, to me, an ideal quarterback room for the Jets. Tyrod, bring him back. Let's sign like Gardner Minshew or Jimmy Garoppolo, someone like that. And then let's draft Fernando Mendoza or Dante Moore or Ty Simpson. Like, that's what I'm looking at. Private Jet is next. Hello, Private.
Can you hear me, Jake?
I hear you, Private.
All right, good. So look, right? I seen something today. I know you gotta go, but what do you think about, right? So nobody's talking about this, but I seen it on X. They said maybe the Titans might say, let's look at the quarterback class.
Smoke screen. Don't believe it. Don't believe it, Private.
But you never know. Like, they might fall in love with Mendoza too, or Ty Simpson, and be like, okay, Cam Ward too reckless. Let's see, and the Jets would be like, oh, what you want for Cam Ward? Like, give him the 23 pick, or even if we give him our own pick, I'm cool with getting Cam Ward, or because initially they had us trading the 23 because Indy's 23 now in the draft order, so they had us trading the 23 pick for Cam Ward, and Tennessee takes Mendoza or Ty Simpson, whoever. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think about that? I know you said a smoke screen, but like that's not a bad idea, because Cam Ward, he's a little reckless right now, so they might go through the draft process and fall in love with somebody else. Because as a GM, you got to look at everything. You can't just look at, we got a quarterback, that's it. You got to look at everything again, number one, so you got a second chance at getting things right. So what do you think about that, Jake?
Yeah,
You
private, good
know,
call, man. I'm gonna let you go because your internet was a little choppy at the end there. Look, if Cam Ward were to be available, I definitely would be interested if I'm the Jets. I'd rather Cam Ward than any of these three quarterbacks that we've been discussing. I think if Cam Ward was in this draft class, he'd be the first pick in the draft again. So, sure, we can entertain it. I don't think Tennessee's actually going to trade Cam Ward. I think they're going to surround him with talent. People say if you watch the all 22 of Cam Ward, he's improving and he's making plays and they're either dropping it, right? Or he doesn't have protection. I don't think Tennessee's going to give up on Cam Ward after a year. I don't. Now, if he's actually available, sure, that changes things, but I don't think he is. Last chance to get in the raffle. Cynthia W. has joined the Asmaniac raffle. She's in for one.
Did somebody say Brock Bowers?
What up?
Hey, what's up?
All right. The Dream is on the line. Hey, Dream.
What's up, Jake?
Dream.
How you doing?
I'm good, Dream. How are you?
I'm all right. Did you see the email I sent you with Jermaine Johnson and Garrett promoting Joe Tippmann's new hairstyle?
Yeah, it looks like Joe Tippmann's trying to go full Gary with the braids.
Right? I mean, how can we lose with Joe Tippmann looking all sexy like that?
He went full Gary 3D boxing.
Well, wait, did Gary have braids at one point?
Are you new to the show? Gary's usually always had the braids until recently.
Oh, all right. Well, I called in to promote, my weight loss competition. From last week, right?
Yeah, give us an update. Have you started the weight loss challenge?
I have. I've made some progress.
Okay.
You said, how do you call in? Because let me know what you need to make it happen. Now, look, I've never done anything like this before. I'm just a chubby guy with an idea. That's all I am, right?
Well, I love the idea, Dream. So I've never organized a weight loss challenge
Neither
either.
have I. But I mean, like it could be something like weight loss classes. There has to be divisions, correct?
Yeah, I'd imagine so, right? I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not really an expert in this though, the Dream. I think the best thing for us to do is to find out who's interested, have people pledge that they're going to try and lose some weight, and we all hold each other accountable.
But there's also some other ideas I thought of as well.
Go ahead.
Like we could have like if somebody's calling somebody else out, maybe we can have like a head-to-head matchup.
So a chub off, if you will.
Yeah, 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 that could work, right? Yeah, like oh man, like oh, I'd love to eat this bacon, egg, and cheese this morning, but I'd really like to shove it to Beast Breaker on Friday for the weigh-in. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
So I haven't. Would you like to see my second weigh-in?
I would love to.
What was I last week? I forget.
I don't remember.
It was above 230.
Okay.
All right, and then you put on that music when you spin the wheel. So let's do that again.
Okay, so let's put on some dramatic weight weighing music. Whenever you're ready.
All right. All right, here we go. I already know what it's going to be because I already know. Definitely, I wouldn't have suggested this if I knew I hadn't already achieved something. So here we go.
Do you believe in achievement?
Yes. Error. Hold on, now we got to reset that. I didn't know not that big. All right. Oh, let's reset here. Let the scale reset.
Any update on your glasses, Dream? Are we gonna get a new pair?
I'm due for a new pair in January, so updates coming.
You still there, Dream?
Yeah.
Okay.
Another error. Hold
Have you
on.
thought about putting some lights on in your home?
Yeah, we could do that. Here's one. Ready? Let's try this again.
Okay.
All right. Well, I've had a few. So the problem is I'm having trouble standing still on the scale. Right? You see, right?
It seems to be the problem. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Third time's a charm.
That's what they say.
Another error. Hold on.
Okay.
Let's kick the flip flops off.
Yeah,
They
that
might
might
be
help.
the problem.
Well, that would add some weight to you, no?
Yeah. Another error. Hold on. The scale might be on something. All right. One more time.
I got dinner plans tonight, Dream. We got to move quickly here.
I'm so sorry, bro. All right.
All right, I still got to edit the podcast. I got to figure out how I'm getting
All
to
right.
Union Square by 7:15. You're making this tough for me.
All right. $239.
Yeah.
Let's go Jets! Let's go Jets! Let's go Jets! Let's go Jets!
All right, Dream. To be continued with your weight loss journey here, because I don't have time to really break it down because I got to get to a raffle. But first, let me shout out the last batch of memberships. Chuck Wagon in for 5. Let's go, Chuck.
Do they ever force a damn turnover?
No, they don't, Joe, but maybe someday they will. Mike Dems in for 1. Cynthia W in for 1. I think I shouted her out already, but love you, Cynthia. Hope you're doing well. Matt L says, Jake, I received my signed helmet a moment ago. Thank you. Well, Matt, congrats on winning the signed helmet. I think you won a Mosley helmet, right? So congrats. Glad it arrived safely. And I sent that out on Tuesday. It arrived already on Friday. Hell yeah. Also, didn't you start at 238, Dream? So you went up a pound, if I'm following correctly. Although I'm going to have my statistician, resident historian, Boomtown review the tape because I don't know what you weighed in at the first time. On that note, I do know this. We have an Asmaniac raffle, and we have it right now. I said now.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Here we go, folks. You guys know the rules by now. If you win, you got to email me your name, your address, the player you want the Jets rivalry jersey in, and the size you want it in. Again, thank you to everyone who supports these things. And a huge shout out to Bourbon with Brian, who says, I've been listening on Spotify for months. The show is awesome. Welcome to all the podcast listeners who then flipped over to YouTube. It used to be people watched on YouTube and then they missed it. They'd go to the podcast. We brought in a ton of new listeners this year that were audio only. Thunderlips was audio only. And then he was like, wait a second, there's a video for this? And I was a regular. So Bourbon with Brian, thank you. Again, let's spin the wheel, shall we? You guys are the best. Our final raffle for this week, the winner is Taylor D'Onofrio. Hell yeah, Taylor. Congratulations. He's been on quite the roll in these raffles. Taylor, this is for you. Hell yeah. Congrats to Taylor. Taylor, shoot me an email with the player you wanted in. I'll get that ordered for you this weekend. Again, you guys are the best. Thanks for another great week of shows. We'll be back post-game right after the Jets and the Dolphins play on Sunday. 3-hour post-game we typically do. So be ready to go. By the way, Indy Jet said he checked. He said he was about 230 on the first one. So, all right. We'll get to the bottom of this dream weight loss challenge. If anyone else wants in on the weight loss challenge, you let me know. You and Dream will go head-to-head in what we're calling a chub-off. On that note, go Jets. I'll talk to you guys soon. And in the wise words of Beastbreaker, let me play something completely incoherent. Again, go Jets, and let's squish the fish on Sunday.
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane. And if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go, Jets!